Hi, everyone. I just wrote this because I got tired of a story trope. If you like the story, feel free to throw me some change. There's a coffee link in the bottom. If you don't like this story, then you are welcome to try to pay me more and see if I will stop. Chances are not good that I will, but that money is not refundable. I'd also like to say thank you to Laura for help with the accent and IDEA, which is the International Dialects of English Archives as well. And just remember, everyone, you are a wonderful story in motion. The dead woman at my feet looks eerily familiar. Her thinning dark brown hair pulled into a ponytail, her face small with sharp features, and her delicate frame wearing the same clothes I put on today. How strange. She looks like me, I say to my devoted husband, Art. He moves past me toward the crumpled form on the floor, but something is wrong. His muscles are tight as if he's pushing himself, yet his movement is slowed like he's moving through water. He scoops up the lifeless form, cradling it, tears streaming down his face. Watching Art cry so openly in a crowd sends a shockwave of confusion through my body. That's because it is you, Granny, says a sweet, soothing voice that stands out in the chaotic scene slowly unfolding before me. No, I'm right here. How can I be dead? I say, staring down at my doppelganger, unable to take my eyes away. A warm hand gently touches my shoulder, and a wave of calming energy flows into my immortal spirit. Without looking, I ask, what happened? Why now? Why here? Oh no, Charlie's birthday party. My head snaps up to pull my gaze away from my husband as he begins chest compressions. The rest of the house, filled with party guests, stands stunned. I scan the crowd of horrified faces for my sweet child Charlie. Oh God, I've ruined his birthday party. He did not see anything. Look for yourself. The soft voice speaks out as a hand gestures to the den. A young girl, about 6 years older than Charlie, is standing in the door, blocking Charlie from entering the living room. As she successfully redirects his attention back into the den, she grips the door to close it behind her. The rest of the guests stand motionless, unable to help as I lie dead on the floor, all except for a woman with raven hair, who is part of the package deal when marrying my husband. Morgan was a free spirit, a beautiful woman from my husband's past. Black curls cascade down her curvaceous body, a little heavier than she used to be, but she wears it proud. Her big, bold personality is only matched by her big, dark eyes. Her eyes are almost black in color, alluring and filled with the mysteries of the universe. Her indigenous heritage she wears proudly on her skin. They never married. Their relationship was intense, but burned out many years ago before I met Art. He told me about their relationship before I met her, that they have a deep, genuine love for one another, but made a terrible couple. Over the years, seeing their interactions together, they are more like siblings. Morgan remains an active person in Art's life because of their incredible daughter named Ren, who is the best older sister to Charlie. Ren was wary of me in the beginning, but I never tried to be her mother. And when I got pregnant with Charlie, Ren softened in her excitement to be a big sister.
You had a heart attack the night before last. Your heart couldn't take it anymore, and you went into cardiac arrest,
the calming voice says. Shifting my gaze away from Ren, I find the owner of the voice. I see a tall Amazonian woman with her black hair sectioned into several squares, each square being twisted and wrapped into tight, spiraling knots. She is dressed in vibrant red pants, a pair of black pumps with the underside of matching red, and a shirt with large flowers of every color spread across a black and white background. Her skin is the tone of the original humans who emerged from the cradle of life. Her large, light brown eyes stare back at me with knowing serenity. She places her hand out, beckoning me to join her, to walk with her to the end of this life. I stand, unmoved. I need to watch. I need to know more before I can walk away. What do you mean several days ago? I had food poisoning a couple days ago, that's all. I felt better today, just a bit dizzy, sweating a bit more than usual, and still nauseous. There was no pain in my chest, just my arms and jaw. Thought it was stress from food poisoning. The woman with sympathetic eyes, having seen this before, shakes her head gently back and forth. A rock hits the bottom of what I can only assume is a mental memory of having a stomach. Turning back, I watch the back end of Morgan as she's running out of the room as quickly as she can, but to me it's at a walker's pace. While Art is in the middle of chest compressions upon my unmoving body, under his voice he sings the familiar song, Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, in beat with his pushes. It makes me smile a bit. the absurdity of this whole thing. Life, death. Your death, I say, not asking, merely stating a fact. I thought I saw you earlier at the party. I turn away from the scene as I become more at ease in this ending process. She kindly nods her head in the affirmative.
Sometimes the person passing will see me before their time. I see it as an introduction, so when it is time, hopefully it will be a little easier.
She says, not staring, but gazing in my direction. I thought it would hurt. I thought I'd be ready when I died. I say as I take a couple of steps toward her. Will they be okay?
They will be sad, but they will learn to be in life without you in your physical form. It was written by fate before you were even born. This was always meant to be. My child, it is time to return home.
Death says, genuine and kind, even though she must have delivered the same message to millions of souls. I hear the paramedics taking over the scene, knowing they won't be able to save me. Turning my back one more time before I take my leave, I watch as Art moves away from the body to allow the paramedics to work. It looks like he's looking directly at me as he moves toward me. My hand naturally outstretches, expecting to feel his comforting touch, but he walks through me. I feel the love we share shine in my light self, but I don't feel his body's heat, his smell, the calluses on his hands. For a split second, recognition reads across his face, quickly followed by confusion and a cold, bitter sadness. I follow him as he moves away, only to feel the love pull in my soul again as Morgan walks through me, and again prompting recognition, followed by a mask of worry. Seeing the new pain upon their faces, I know it's time to leave. As I begin to walk toward death, one word keeps rolling around my head. Fate. The annoyance inside me builds to the point where I just can't ignore it anymore. The words spill out of me. Fated to die at my son's birthday party? What the hell is wrong with fate? Who does that? What good could possibly come from this? I say, gesturing to the petrified crowd that is still standing in the living room. Death's warm smile washes over me as she calmly tells me.
The fate writes all mortal stories from the suggestions of the Great Divine. The Great Divine wished for Art and Morgan to have an amazing love story.
She turns away from me and steps slightly to the side so I can join her on our walk to the beyond. However, seeing Art being comforted by my replacement in this moment stops me in my tracks. I have to die so they can be together? Wait. What? They tried and they're not compatible. They both decided they work better as friends. I say, no longer at peace within myself. Hearing the change in my tune, Death looks over their shoulder at me. The warm smile on their face falters a bit. Nervousness, possibly? I can't fully read the expression on the ephemeral being before me.
Yes, they are friends now, but your death here is the catalyst needed for them to see that they can work out their differences. They need each other, and they will have an incredibly inspiring relationship. That way, the divine light can shine through them.
Why couldn't we just get divorced? I yell, louder than I knew I could in this form. Death turns around to face me fully, trying to choose their words carefully before they speak.
Well, the Great Divine didn't want him to look like an asshole, breaking up a family and going back to his ex. People might talk.
Let them talk, I answer back as Death continues.
It is what the Great Divine demands.
My parents have to bury their child. My son will be raised without his mother. I was in a loving marriage. We weren't perfect, but a whole lot better than some of my friends. Why not kill one of them? My entire existence, my entire purpose was to die for their love story? I say, staring Death straight in the eye, daring them to answer me. Pausing for a second, Death fully turns around before saying to me,
Yes.
With a small oops smile. Okay. No, I respond flatly.
What do you mean no? You are dead. There is nothing else for you here.
Death gestures to the room. Oh, I know I'm dead, but I'm going to Edgar Allan Poe all over the fucking fairy tale. Just call me Legeia. I yell as I charge towards Morgan's beautiful face. Death steps in my way. I can pass through anything, but apparently Death is solid. They push me back firmly, yet gently, and say,
You can't possess her.
How do we know if you don't let me try? Realizing I'm not getting past Death, I put my hands up. That's fine. I like ravens. I'll be Lenore. He can lament about the mood killing of my loud rappings on his chamber doors. I expound before attempting to bob and weave past Death.
I thought you loved them.
Death says as she pushes me further away. Oh, I still do, but I'm not going to be a passive piece for some great divinity's power trip over a simple, foolish mortals. I will not go gently into that good night. Death pushes me further away from the soon-to-be infatuated lovebirds.
That's not Poe. That's Dylan Thomas.
They say. With that last push, I accidentally step my ghostly foot right into my still body, and I hear a glorious beep.
We got a heartbeat. It's weak, but it's there. Just hold on, Gwenny. We got you.
The young 20-something paramedic, with a tattoo of a purple butterfly, says to my soulless body. The smile on my face must have made me look mad. Death, reading my intention, quickly says,
Don't do it.
Knowing I may have found a way back to the world of the bodied, I feel the serene energy return. See you later, alligator, I say as I wink at Death. Putting my arms out, I allow myself to fall backwards into my body. As my eyes flicker open, I feel all the aches and pains from being in a physical body. Expecting to see the kitchen around me, I find myself in an unfamiliar room. But by the smell of strong bleach-based cleaner and the tubes coming out of me, I'm able to deduce that I am in the hospital.
She's awake! Oh, thank God you're awake.
I hear Art say, louder than my ears were ready for. Seeing movement, I see two figures approach the bed, Art and Morgan. He's hugging me before I have a chance to register he leaned down. I try to talk, but my desert dry throat only allows me to cough before making a croaking noise towards Art. He quickly understands my body language as he grabs a cup of water from the table. He begins to tell me everything while I satiate my thirst. Morgan moves behind Art. I'm going to go get the doctor, she says as she swiftly moves out of the room.
You've been in a coma for 2 days. It was a heart attack. Apparently that food poisoning wasn't food poisoning after all. They showed me a list of symptoms that women can have that aren't typical of what a heart attack looks like in men. Who knew?
Art says, trying to liven the mood before continuing.
Charlie's okay. He's with your folks right now. He didn't see anything. Ren thought quickly and kept him in the den. She's doing okay, too, all things considered.
I try to sit up, but a shooting pain causes my eyes to become unfocused. The worried thoughts of, oh no, I'm dying again, running through my head. My face must have shown my concern because Art quickly says,
I apparently broke some of your ribs while giving you CPR, but it probably saved you. So, sorry, not sorry.
Before I can thank him for the broken ribs, a doctor and a nurse enter the room with Morgan close behind. The next several minutes of my life turned into answering a plethora of questions while I was poked, prodded, thumped on, and my favorite, blinded by a small pen light. Apparently, my answers and my body's reflex reactions were sufficient for the doctors to tell me, you seem to be doing well, but we want to observe you for a couple of days before you go home. My visitors were encouraged to only stay a little bit longer because I needed my rest, which was confusing since I just woke up. The coma-induced nightmare begins to fade as I look into Art's small hazel eyes, seeing the love he has for me plastered on his face. Morgan also looking at me with care and relief, knowing I would be okay. The energy between them is loving, but firmly in the friend zone. As I relax and let go of my fears, Art leans forward, giving me a kiss on the lips before saying in a whisper with his face still close to mine,
I was so scared. Please don't ever do that again.
I nod yes, making sure not to hit our heads. Even with my eyes fixed on his, I notice movement in the shadow of the room. Must be Morgan, I decide, before noticing Morgan standing on the other side of Art. Allowing my gaze to break from Art towards the corner of the room, I see standing there a tall Amazonian woman wearing her bright red pants and a neutral face. In my ear, I hear,
After a while, crocodile.
With a wink, she is gone. It wasn't a dream, my brain screams to me. But it has to be. I feel the other half of myself argue. The first one tries to convince me by bringing up the information Art had told me. It was a heart attack. Ren kept Charlie safe. He did CPR. My other side attempts to convince me that I could have gained that information through the sounds I was hearing while unconscious on the floor. While the silent debate rages, a tie-breaking question pops into my head. Did the paramedic who helped me have a tattoo on the right arm of a purple butterfly? I ask. Art shrugs his shoulders, but luckily Morgan pipes in. Yeah, they did. I took notice of it because it was so well done. Having a physical stomach this time when the floor dropped out from under me, I felt the bile rise. Morgan, recognizing my urgency, hands me an unused bedpan. The water I drank when I woke up comes up and out of me. Art, sweetly holding the water, asks innocently,
Are you okay? Can I get you anything?
In a panic, I answer, I need a divorce. The room goes deathly quiet. I desperately try to explain. I love you. You're the best thing that has ever happened to me. You're an amazing husband and father. How do I? It's not you, it's me. That doesn't sound good. I feel him recoil from me, causing me to quicken my ramble. When I died, I had a near-death experience. I met Death, and she let me know that my death was planned so that you two could be together, like a divine-inspired couple. If that is what is fated, I don't want to die for you two to be together. But I won't stand in the way of your happiness. Unable to handle the insane truth I just spoke, my body goes numb as I float outside it, feeling that maybe I do need to be locked up. Morgan speaks first, though, allowing Art to process the craziness he just heard. I don't want to be with Art. No offense. She looks at Art, who puts his hands up as if to say, then take it. I don't know what happened to you when your heart stopped, but if someone has to die for him and me to be together, I don't think that makes us a divine anything, she says, again looking at Art, who nods in agreement. I'm happy you're alive, and I want you to stay that way, okay? She looks over at me. I nod in the affirmative. I'm the master of my own fate. Now, I'm going to let you two figure out what's yours. I love you both. Leaning down, she gives me a kiss on the forehead and gives Art a side hug before leaving us alone. Without looking at me, Art speaks in a low voice.
Didn't you change fate already? Maybe you're safe now.
I saw Death again, in the room just before I threw up. They said they are seen sometimes by people before they die. I say, quietly, feeling unsure of what I'm doing.
So, does that mean you're still going to die?
He asks, frantically looking around the room as if he can stop Death. To be honest, I have no idea. I might still die tonight or 50 years from today. Staying with you seems to be pointing at a sooner death. So I have to try something. I want to see Charlie and Ren grow old. I want to see you grow old. Maybe it's selfish, but I want to grow old too. If the only way to do that is to divorce you so you can be with Morgan, then so be it. You apparently have a destiny, and I'm not allowed to be a part of that. I say, placing my hand on his. You go be happy. I'll figure myself out. Tears begin to roll down his cheeks.
But I'm happy with you.
My chest aches as the man I love's heart breaks because of me. I'm such an asshole. The next 2 years pass in slow motion. Every fight, every discussion over dividing up assets, every tear from Charlie and Art, the confused, judgmental faces upon friends and family members when I tried to explain what happened. We go from moments of speaking to each other into moments of him only talking to me through his lawyer. At last, with the divorce finalized and a normal routine beginning, the hatred softens into the possibility of being friends. Morgan sits in my new kitchen, helping me unpack the last of my boxes. Over the last 2 years, she has become my greatest friend and confidant. After my confession about my near-death experience, she and Art needed space from each other. She supported me through the divorce, even when he wasn't speaking to me. Thank you so much for your help, and I don't just mean these last boxes. I swear, if I didn't have you, I don't think I would have made it through these last 2 years. Which is saying something. I say, smiling at Morgan. Probably not. She jokes with me. I poke her gently in her ticklish ribs while saying, hey, Giggling and protecting her ribs from any further intrusions, she yields, giving me her honest answer. Well, if I'd known sooner how interesting you are and how much we have in common, I'd have been hanging out with you instead of Odd all the time. Plus, I never knew how scopeable you are, she says as she picks me up in one smooth movement. I protest at being airborne through my giggles. She puts me down gently. How's he doing, by the way? Is he still with Ren's teacher, Miss Duloc? I ask. Yeah, they seem to be serious and are talking about moving in together. Ren is not excited about that idea, she says as I place the last item, a cheese grater, into its new home. Okay, I think that's the last box. Did you want to get some coffee to celebrate? She asks as she stares her big, beautiful eyes into mine. I feel happiness well up inside me. I have never had a female friend quite like her. With you? Of course. You always know the best places. I'm buying this time, though, I say as I grab my keys. Well, say, she threatens as we step through the door. I'm so lucky to have her in my life, I think to myself as I lock the door. Unbeknownst to Gwenny and Morgan, two beings have been watching their interaction. A tall Amazonian black woman in red and a small androgynous figure, aglow with luminous ropes weaved together to form a robe. A hood obscures any feature other than a veil made of more ropes. As the two mortals leave the room, the beings high-five each other.
We did it. Nice job, Death. Pushing her back to her body and providing just enough knowledge to get her to rebel,
says the glowing figure as they give a chef's kiss.
Fate, you're making me blush. I had the easy part. Your ability to get the great divine to allow you to change the story is a skill.
Death responds.
It's not too difficult. It's like any creature in power. Make them think it's their idea, and they are happy with the change.
Fate says, taking a second to hold the ropes representing Gwenny and Morgan. Death smiles at Fate, knowing what is about to happen.
I adore love. Do you want to watch them realize they're in love with each other at the cafe?
Fate begins to intertwine the two paths before answering. Oh, absolutely.